Project 944. I haven't done a video in a couple months, so I wanted to do an update. Been super busy with work. Been on the road most of the last couple months, but I've made a couple adjustments to the car. As you can see, I put a OMP Alcantara steering wheel in it, which I'm still trying to figure out how to get the horn to work, and I need to adjust it and get the rest of the adapter on there. I've tried every combination of wires and grounds and different things like that, and still nothing works. I think it may be the connecting plate on the back of the adapter that's not making contact, because the old steering wheel horn works just fine. I have made it out to 2 autocross events, so to answer the question, is the 944 an autocross monster? Not yet, but it has shown a lot of potential. My first time out, something happened with my battery and I didn't get any footage. I will show some footage from the second run in a few minutes. I was wearing, the car had 500 series treadwear tires on it. The suspension is so soft it almost feels like a drag car, and it was sliding all over the place, and it's got no power. It's slow, but it's got very neutral handling, just as advertised with these cars. Handles great. And then I didn't have the steering wheel on for the first run, and then the second time I went, I had the steering wheel, which makes a huge difference. Not only is it better grip, it's a lot closer to you since it's concaved, and it moves the steering wheel away from the windshield wipers and the turn signal, which is nice for autocross because you tend to hit them accidentally. It makes it a little bit harder to drive around the street. You just have to kind of reach to get them. And then the other change I made between the first event and the second event was I switched to same wheels, still phone dials, but 16 inches, and I went with a Toyo R888 100 treadwear tire that is much stickier and much better. It handles tons better. It's amazing how much difference a tire can make. And the only wheels I could source were obviously used, and one of them was white, so I do need to paint that one silver here sometime in the near future. A couple updates on the car. Also, I had to take the door panel apart because my window, the farther I rolled it down, the more it got stuck. And after I rolled it down to the first autocross, and I would have filmed taking it apart, but it was starting to rain, and I really just needed to get it apart and get it fixed. So I mostly just lubed all the connections on the mechanism, and that seemed to work. I had thoughts of switching all the electrical stuff out for a manual to save some weight and to simplify things so I didn't have to keep fixing it. I don't think it's going to be that much weight savings, and going to a manual is not that simple. It's actually kind of expensive, so as long as this one's working. I did blow another fuse on the automatic window, but I think it's because one of my switches sort of fried, and I switched it out for my replacement switch and put a different fuse in, and it's working again. So I will be making a custom door card here in the near future. I just ordered some parts for that, and I'll definitely do a video on that. One thing I never mentioned before, that the power seats actually work in this. The power sunroof, moonroof worked once I figured out how the switch worked. That's about all the changes I've made. So my plan for this car is to, and I'll talk more about this later, but I'm trying to compete with the Toyota 86, FRS, Subaru, BRZ, whatever you want to call them. It's about the same sort of category. They're about similar in weight. This thing I had at 2,820 pounds with, I think, a full tank of gas, which is pretty full because this is a big tank on these things, surprisingly, 18 gallons. So it's probably around 2,700 pounds dry. And the Autocross club that I go to, it's not a traditional TTA, STA, whatever they all are. They just do index times based on the vehicle weight and tire type and horsepower. So I'm trying to get the weight to the bottom of the window, so at 2,601 pounds is the low side, and then I believe 2,900 is the high side. And then the horsepower, I'm in the 100 to 130 wheel horsepower category. And then so that basically gives you sort of a positive or a negative number on your time, and then the 100 series tires gives it a plus time. And it works out for me to be about a 1.0, so nothing really changes, but I'm trying to make it as competitive as I can within those parameters. And the Toyota 86s are the closest competition. So my only goal is to try and beat those cars, the Miatas. There's a ton of them at the club I go to. They're just too hard to compete with. They're too small, too light, handle too good. And then some of the bigger cars are just in a different category altogether, but I'm just trying to have fun with it. And I will show the video of my second outing, and I will also post up the results from the two outings as well, and we can kind of see how the car did against what I'm trying to compete with.